right, so we're gonna get off into it. I'm not gonna go into First Corinthians just yet. I want to read some more, and then I'm gonna go into that. It says some people are dedicated to idols. It says trees, altars, water spirits, and so on. All evil dedications has a spirit spouse attached. They will be married to the spirit whether they want it or not. That's crazy. The idols of people's families also harass them sexually in a dream. Lastly, sex. Sex with the devil. Unknown to many, there are many familiar spirits and occult spirits in the world today that took the form of men and women and are attractive, and many men and women have slept with them. The thing is, people, familiars, are so attractive and seductive, that men and women easily fall prey to them. When one has sex with them, they will become married in the spirit, and the life of that person will be afflicted, it says, with sorrows. Even if the person leaves the partner alone, the spiritual marriage will still be in place. That is why God warned against sex before marriage, fornication, and sex outside of marriage, which is adultery, because when one falls into the hands of these spirits through sex, the person is done. But if a wedding or marriage occurs before sex, the spirit will not be able to attack the other person's life, as they have been lawfully married and became one. Basically, godly marriage is not only two families agreeing of you to marry each other, and the families sit down and vows are exchanged and they welcome you into their family, etc. The most important part is the vows on the altar of God, that is God binding the marriage together. Any sex outside marriage is risky, as many has contacted wicked spirits through it. Signs of spiritual marriage: a spiritual husband or wife. A spirit husband or wife. This is where it gets into what I was talking about, that led me to 1 Corinthians 7. Hold on one second. Signs of spiritual marriage or spirit husband or wife: lust, heavy seduction, masturbation, inability to have children, sex in your dreams, hatred, rage, temper, sexual perversion, slavery, rejection, bestiality, the desire to have sex with animals. That's ridiculous. Occult activities, stagnancy and inability to break through, weakness and tiredness, sexual harassment, spiritual and physical, and heaviness. Blessed God. How to know you have a spiritual husband or wife. It says spiritual husband or wife is a spirit of Satan, a demon. This husbands or wives are not natural but spiritual through a certain level, and at certain levels they appear physically. Mostly, you cannot see a spiritual husband or wife with natural eyes, but you can see them spiritually in dreams, visions, in action. Good Lord. Spiritual husband and wife are both to the married and unmarried. Spiritual husband is for women and spiritual wife for men. How do you know you have a spiritual husband or wife? How to know you have a spiritual husband or wife? Sex in dreams. Every person having sex in dreams has a spiritual husband or wife. If in the past you had sex in dreams and you were not delivered, you have a spiritual husband or wife. It is satanic to have sex in dreams, Father Jesus. Sex in dreams are demons having sex with you. You have no power of your own to deny spiritual husband and wife sex. Whether you like it or not, those demons will have sex with you until the day you are delivered. deprives the married sex. Spiritual husband and wives deprives the married sex. The demons do everything they can to deny married sex. You have heard wives tell their husbands to pay for sex, bringing excuses to deprive sex, married sleeping in different beds, etc. Spiritual husband and wife is one of the major causes of separation and divorce. See how to know you are separated. Steals affection and attraction for your husband or wife. To the married, there will be no affection and attraction for your husband or wife, and the spiritual husband or wife will give you hatred for your spouse. You have heard women who say they have no feelings toward their husbands. They have a spiritual husband. Though the demon steals affection and attraction towards your husband or wife, it gives you affection and attraction for other men and women. It leads to sexual immorality. To the unmarried, you have heard women say things like, men are dogs, I cannot be married, etc. That is a spiritual husband speaking. It is a strategy of a spiritual husband to make sure that no other man will marry her, but giving her to many men. Jesus. Every woman who says such words like men are dogs is having sex with many men. Gives you hate for your husband or your wife. Spiritual husband and a wife hates the husband. Reason women hate their husbands and husbands do not understand their wives, hate for them, and vice versa. To the unmarried, they are given hate of the opposite sex, and especially to the person they are to get married to. This is why you find that at certain times, a person hates the person they are to get married to, and other times, loving them dearly. It is the spiritual husband or wife causing this, and apart from hatred, spiritual husband or wife gives anger and unforgiveness. This is a sign of no love in a person. And it goes on. And there's so many other things from, it leads you to sexual immorality, denies you marriage. Many women are unmarried because they are married to spiritual husbands and vice versa. That scared me. Father Jesus. Many women are not married because when a man comes to marry them, the spiritual husband goes to torment that man either in dreams or physically, and the man flees, and vice versa. Many women are married, but spiritual husbands has denied them marriage, and so are men. If you are married, but there is no affection and attraction, depriving of sex, separation, arguments, fights, etc., this is a spiritual husband or wife denying you marriage through claiming to be married. It gets interesting. Barrenness, low sperm count, gives diseases and sicknesses. They hate the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Absolutely. We should know that. Spiritual husbands and wives hate the power of Jesus Christ, power of the kingdom of God. Every person with a spiritual husband or wife persecutes the power of Jesus Christ. They persecute every Jesus Christ servant accompanied by miracle signs and wonders, especially casting out demons. Satan and demons have no problem with powerless people and preaching the gospel, but hate Jesus Christ servants with power. For these with power destroyed their kingdom and cast them out and destroy the works of the devil. See, a demon cannot cast out a demon. And signs and wonders follow Jesus Christ's servants. Spiritual husband and Jezebel go hand in with go hand in women. See the spirit of Jezebel. These are some examples which reveal a spiritual husband or wife in a person. From these, you can know if you have one. Jesus Christ. It gets deep. I'm going to be sure to post that link because it has prayer points also. And it gets very interesting. I would like for you guys to check that out. But what I'm going to do is read a little bit from 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter.